Hey there, and welcome to our video on whether demographic bias really exists in media reporting. In this video, we'll be discussing what demographic bias is, how it can manifest in media reporting, and some examples of its effects. Demographic bias is the idea that certain groups of people are treated unfairly or are underrepresented in media reporting. This bias can manifest in a number of ways, including who's featured in news stories, who is interviewed as an expert on a topic, and who is targeted by advertisers. Here are some examples of how demographic bias can manifest in media reporting. Number 1. Underrepresentation of certain demographics in news stories and interviews. Number 2. Overrepresentation of certain demographics in negative news stories, such as crime reporting. Number 3. Reliance on stereotypes in reporting, such as portraying people of certain demographic backgrounds and characteristics in a certain way. And number 4. Targeting advertisements to specific demographics may perpetuate harmful stereotypes. One way that demographic bias can manifest in media reporting is through underrepresentation. For example, if a news organization consistently fails to feature stories about or interviews with people of a certain race or gender, this can be considered a form of demographic bias. Another way that demographic bias can manifest is through the use of stereotypes. When media outlets rely on stereotypes about certain groups of people, it can reinforce negative perceptions and perpetuate bias. For example, if a crime included suspects from Caucasian and African American races, but the news outlet covering the story only shows images of the suspects from one of the races, this can reinforce negative stereotypes about the race portrayed as being more likely to commit crimes. There are also examples of media outlets targeting certain demographics for advertising purposes, which can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and reinforce biases. For example, if a company only targets advertising for a clothing store to women, even though the store carries men's clothes too, it reinforces the stereotype that women are primarily concerned with their appearance, while ignoring men who may also be interested in these products. In conclusion, demographic bias does exist in media reporting and can manifest in a number of ways, including underrepresentation, stereotypes, and targeted advertising. It's important for media organizations to be aware of these biases and take steps to ensure that their reporting is inclusive and accurate. As consumers of media, it's important to be aware of these biases and to seek out diverse sources of information. Thanks for watching this video on whether demographic bias really exists in media reporting.